Hello, and welcome to Building Language Access Literacy. 3. What are language access services? Language access services are the services an organization provides so that everyone can receive information and services in a language they fully understand. This ensures that people who prefer to communicate in languages other than English have reasonable access to the same services as English speakers, without any additional cost to them. The core language access services are document translation and spoken language interpretation. There are other services, such as the provision of audio recordings of written texts, subtitles, captions, voiceovers, original content in languages other than English, and more. However, interpreting and translation are usually considered the core services at the heart of language access. Document translation is provided for individuals who don't fully understand the original language of a written document. Translators read a document in one language and then write it in a different language. The accessibility of automatic machine translation all around us might give the impression that translation is easy, fast, and cheap. However, it is very important that a qualified person ensures translations are thorough, effective, and accurate. Poor quality translations can be ineffective, confusing, and even offensive. This can prevent an organization from building trust with a client or even an entire community. Spoken language interpretation is provided by interpreters. Interpreters listen to what someone says in one language and then deliver the message orally in another language. Interpretation services are necessary when not everyone shares a common language during a meeting, appointment, or another event. It's important to properly prepare for meetings that will involve an interpreter. Before the meeting, everyone involved should know how to work with an interpreter. In addition, the interpreter should receive any handouts, slide decks, notes, or any other material that can help them prepare to interpret during the meeting. During the meeting, participants should be aware that the interpreter will relay everything that is said, how it is said. The interpreter usually reminds participants about this during a brief introduction before the meeting starts. Keep in mind that the interpreter might need to ask for clarification or take a break. An interpreter should have no other role during the meeting. After the meeting, it's important for the organizer to check if there are notes or instructions that need to be translated into another language. The organizer should also assess whether there are any adjustments to make for future meetings with interpreters. There are different modes of interpretation. In simultaneous interpretation, the interpreter relays in real time while the speaker is talking. This mode is often used for the delivery of speeches and presentations using equipments such as headsets. Consecutive interpretation occurs when the interpreter relays what each participant says after they say it. Consecutive interpretation is typically used for smaller meetings and appointments. Side translation is a mode of interpretation in which an interpreter reads a document in one language and then orally relays the content in another language. Side translation shouldn't be used in place of providing someone with document translation, but it can be helpful in meetings if there aren't translations available at the moment. Interpreters can work in person at the site of a meeting, over the phone, or via video. Having an interpreter on site is usually the most effective option. However, over the phone and video interpretation services can be effective and are often required in situations where it's challenging to get an on-site interpreter due to factors like availability and scheduling. Professional interpreters and translators must go through training. Translators and interpreters have different skill sets, and they are not interchangeable. Translators' skill sets include knowledge of the languages and cultures they work with, strong reading and writing skills, knowledge about translation practices, familiarity with the field, knowledge in certain content areas, research skills, technical skills, and people skills. Part of their skill set is knowing how to responsibly and critically work with the tools available to them, including automatic machine translation. Interpreters' skill set includes having in-depth language and cultural knowledge, a wide-ranging vocabulary, context and terminology in a given subject area or areas, excellent interpersonal skills, memory retention, significant concentration, public speaking skills, listening and note-taking skills, quick thinking, confident decision-making, and steady oratory. In-language services are another part of language access. This is when a staff member who has had their language skills evaluated directly provides information of services to clients in their preferred language. Other language access services can include multimedia productions, such as audio recordings of documents or messages. These can be helpful for clients or customers who cannot read, but an organization can also decide to communicate information in a multimedia format for their own reasons. Videos can also have subtitles to increase the accessibility of the content in other languages. Narration and voiceovers can also help make existing content available in more languages. As organizations develop their language access plans, they need to consider when and how language access services will be provided. It's important to remember that language access services need support from all the members of an organization, even those who are not directly providing or receiving the services.
Test your knowledge. What is the key difference between a translator and an interpreter?